Clubhouse, we're here.
Hey everybody, great to have you on our live chat today. This is something that we're trialling out, so we hope very much you enjoy it. We've got 4 questions to answer for you today. Steve, do you want to...
my first one actually was from Andrea, and she was saying about do you have any good team building activities that we recommend? And that she's a new manager and feels like the team spirit isn't what it could be in a salon. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I always find that, you know, running a hairdressing business is always about team spirit. And it's very difficult at times, for whatever reason, to keep that spirit very high. So there's little things that you can do. I mean, we used to play games. So we used to play the banana game. And what that was about giving people a word that they would have to insert into their conversation. And it was just a bit of fun, you know, just kept the day sort of lifted and kept the team spirit a bit higher, rather than focusing on, you know, maybe some of the more negative things. And I think the important thing is that when you're in the salon is making sure that you have regular team meetings, and these don't have to be an hour long, they can be 1-minute team meetings. So literally quickly in the staff room, 1-minute team meeting, look guys, this is the focus today, right, and your word is banana or whatever, and off you go. And it's those little things that make a big difference.
It would have been hilarious.
Yeah, it was good fun, yeah. It was hysterical.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. From our own experience, we used to have what we used to call a huddle in the salon every morning. It used to go for about 10 minutes. And it was part of getting that energy right. It's just so important. And sometimes it can be getting on that, you know, the music that gets us into a really good state for the day, as well as, like Steve says, the focus. It's just so important. So yeah, I can't top that game, I have to tell you. That's hilarious, that's awesome. But one thing that we have done before is to different games to perhaps increase retail, perhaps increase colour, whatever that may be, whatever it is that you're wanting to focus on for that particular week or that day. And we might have a $20 note, and the person who sold the last retail, for example, would get to hold on to that $20 note. And female might, you know, stuff it somewhere, or a guy might put it in their pocket, but they have that, they have won that until somebody else sells another retail product. And that can be a lot of fun because, you know, out the back someone's going, thank you, it's mine now. Yeah. And so that was a lot of fun also, and it just helped, you know, build that focus of doing a great job, because that's what we do. Yeah,
because we used to get the guys, you know, you get right to the end of the day, there'd be a couple of clients left in the salon, and then, you know, someone would sell a product, maybe, and they'd go out and they'd do the sort of dance of victory in the staff room, you know, you can remember that. And then, of course, the other stylist, while they're doing the silly dance, has actually sold it. You know? So now they've had to hand it back to them.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the main thing is that any team building exercise needs to start in the salon first, you know, before you even start looking at outside the salon at any other sort of ideas. You know, I think it has to always be in the salon.
Mm.
I go back to team meetings. I love team meetings daily. Short, sweet, but keep it to having the team meetings, because if you don't have meetings, you die. Your team just doesn't come together.
Yeah. Communication.
Definitely.
Yeah, but thanks, that's a great question. We've got one here from Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, do you think I should charge the same working from a nice professional studio as if I was working in a salon? What do you think of that, guys?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I don't think it's, to be honest, and no disrespect, I just think, you know, you're a professional person, you do a professional job, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a tent in the middle of a garden somewhere or in a salon, you should be charging what you're worth.
I agree.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's all about the expert that you are, and like you say, you've got obviously a really nice studio going on there, so go for it, Elizabeth.
Can I disagree there a little bit? I don't think you should charge what you're worth. No, truthfully, people wrap up self-worth a lot in money, and, you know, you shouldn't. You should charge what you need to charge to make the business successful and profitable, not necessarily how you feel about it, because if you feel pretty lousy, you're going to find it very hard to charge appropriate prices.
That's a really good point.
Right.
That's a great point, and I think, you know, focus on profit always. You know, the service that you're doing has got to be profitable, and your business has got to be profitable. And profit isn't a dirty word; it's something that you need as a business to grow.
It's vital, absolutely vital for salons.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So think of a number and double it. Yeah.
And you're probably still not charging enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Another one over there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one here from Krista.
Okay. So Krista asks, do you think hairstylists read ingredient labels on hair products and know what they really do to the hair, how the hair reacts when these products are used on the hair, for example, sulfates and silicons? What do you think the percentage is of stylists that practice deeper knowledge into the science of hair care for the benefit of the client?
So what was the question? Do you want to know what percentage
Well,
of hairstylists know?
from what I think you're asking there, Krista, I can only speak from my own experience, and that is any salon that I've worked in a couple of different countries, product knowledge was really, really big. And I think it's like anything, you're going to get, like any profession, you're going to get some people out there who are really dedicated to doing the best for their client and some that are pretty average. So as far as the percentage goes, we don't have those stats. But, you know, I like to think that people who are passionate about what they do, like we all are, then they're going to know that stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I think, you know, as a professional, then you should know your product. You know, whether it's your hair care range or your tint or whatever you're using, you should fully understand that, because how really can you be a professional person if you don't fully understand? Imagine going to the doctors and they give you you know, some medicine and it says, well, I don't really understand what the ingredients are or what they do to your body. I know they work. So you should have a little bit of inside information on how things work. And to be honest, I think most hairdressers that are really into their work and into professionalism would probably know that anyway.
Certainly beauty therapists do. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, beauty therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a big beauty therapy salon
so,
in the UK, and those girls knew their products inside out. In actual fact, it was a little bit anal, but they needed to know. One thing I would say, though, I wish they make the bloody labels, the wording a bit bigger, because people might need your glasses on. You know, we was talking yesterday, wasn't we? And I was trying to read a product that we was looking at, and it was, I could hardly see the thing.
Yeah, they're making them smaller.
Anything you want to add there?
I've got nothing to add to it. I think we're a fairly mature industry, so people have an idea of what's good and what's bad. I don't think we probably spend a lot of time researching things, but we definitely know that products without sulfates are going to be better for colour in the hair, and we can sell those benefits to clients, and that's definitely why salon products are better than supermarket products. Do we need more in-depth understanding than that? Maybe not, but we need to know why things are good. So we can, because as we've become a mature industry, our clients have become mature as well. They have an idea of what's going on. There's a lot of information available out there now, so we have to be as included in as they are, otherwise we're behind the 8 ball. So yes, we should know, we do need to know, but I don't know how in-depth we do have to go into it.
I think you're so right, you hit a nail on the head there, and I just think that, you know, there's so much information on TV now. You only have to watch some of the Pantene adverts or some of the adverts that are on TV, you know, the way that they're going into depth in how products work, which actually tells you something. They wouldn't spend all that money on those type of graphics and that sort of investment in an advert if actually people didn't want to know. So, you know, I think that it's very important that we do know a certain amount about our product that we're using. So this one's really, I'm really apologise, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but I assume it's Ibersola. So what he was saying was, we have a unisex salon in a residential estate of over 800 buildings and over 1,500 residents. I thought it was going to be an advantage for us, but surprisingly we're finding it difficult to get walk-ins. Please, how can I change this? And I think, you know, as soon as we read that, we had a little bit of a discussion before we decided to answer this one, was that, you know, you've got to look at your salon. If you're looking at bringing business in through the look of your salon, so your shop front, which is generally what happens when you're looking at walk-ins, is what's your salon saying about the type of business that you want? The other thing we needed to know really was, is it just yourself, or is there more stylists in there? Because that has a big impact, because obviously if you've got 1,500 residents, well, let's say some of those are going to be children, some of those are going to be, you know, maybe that wouldn't visit the salon for whatever reason. So you're narrowing now your market down. So how many clients do you need to make your profit targets? So you need to ask that. And really, you know, the main thing though, at the end of the day, is what does your client say about the type of market that you want, or the type of client that you want to bring into the salon?
Yeah, I think you're saying that you're a unisex salon, but well, what does that mean? You know, you're trying to be everything to everybody, and really we don't know enough about the type of gated community it is. You know, like is it over 50s, or is it semi-retirement? And can people actually come into the community from outside? You know, can you draw clients from outside the gated community? I think we probably need a little more information to. I mean, really, you know, ideally walk-in traffic. I mean, your clients will know you're there. If it's a gated community, they'll know that you're there.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's any issue.
And I think one thing that I would really start doing, actually, like from now, is the people that you've got through walk-ins, start analysing, well, why did they come into me? You know, because if they're the clients you've got and they're the clients that you want and you're happy with, then just ask them. Say, well, how did you find out about me? How comes you chose to walk in? You know, what made you make the decision to sort of buy from me? And then that becomes a foundation for you then to move forwards into, you know, things like your marketing, things like, you know, the way that you portray your image to your clients and etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I looked at that also and thought, well, if there's just one of you, you probably want about roughly 200 clients out of those 1,500 residents, which is really possible with those numbers. But again, if you're wanting 200 cut and colours or 200, you know, extensions or whatever, then again you're narrowing your market as well, which is great. There's nothing wrong with having a narrow market. You know, I think that's fantastic. But that's the information that we didn't have in order to answer your question. I do wonder whether it's possible that are you really a walk-by salon or are you a destination salon? In which case the marketing strategy is going to change. And like Steve said, who are you attracting? Who are you getting in there? And if they're the target market that you want, you know, where are they coming from? How can you get more of those? And again, like Dave said, you know, are you going to go outside of that community to get people in your door as well if you do decide that those 1,500 residents aren't quite going to be enough for you, especially if you've got 2 or 3, or if you plan to have 2 or 3 stylists, you know, in your salon. Yeah. I mean, great question.
Yeah.
But the answer is so different.
And forgive us, I mean, we're assuming we're saying 1, 2 or 3. You might have 15 stylists. We don't know, so we can only go based on what we're asking. But, you know, just look at the, you know, I call it satelliting. So look at where your clients are coming from, look at the demographics of where they come from. So if you've got someone that's prepared to travel 15 miles into you, right, well, they've got friends and family that probably would be prepared to travel in. So look at pockets there, go and do a workshop there, you know, and promote your business from there. So don't necessarily always rely on what's walking past. I know you're probably not, and again, we're just answering the information that we've got, but just as expanding on that, and then just look at satellites. Just say, well, okay, well that worked, you know, so we've got that group of people coming in and do it then. And then, of course, as you grow, because we did actually look on Google Maps, and we looked in your area, and it looks very heavily populated from what we can see. So there's definitely the potential there to be really, really a very, very busy salon.